Welcome in. We're talking LO206 karting today. You know, that world where every single engine is identical, sealed from the factory. So the big question is, how in the world do you find a winning edge? Well, today, we're going to dive deep into the secrets of the drivetrain to uncover some serious hidden speed.
Come on, you know the feeling, right? Your chassis is dialed in, you're hitting every single apex, your driving is on point, but you're still hunting for that last tenth of a second. When you can't touch the engine, where does that speed actually come from? It's the question every spec racer asks.
Well, I'll tell you where it's not. It's not in some secret engine tune or some exotic expensive part. Nope, the hidden horsepower, it's hiding in the last place most people even think to look, your chain and your sprockets. Seriously, believe it or not, this is where massive, and I mean massive gains are just waiting to be found.
So let's get right into it. Think of your drivetrain this way. It's not just the set of parts doing a job. It's a potential power robber. If you ignore it, if you don't treat it right, you are just giving away free speed to your competition.
All right, so the first big decision you've got to make comes down to the chain itself. Most LO206 racers are going to be running one of two types, a number 219 or a number 35. And yeah, they're both legal, but trust me, they are not the same at all.
Okay, so let's break it down. Think of the number 219 chain as the lightweight champion. It's absolutely perfect for smooth sprint tracks because it's just more efficient. It has a smaller pitch, less rotating mass, the whole deal. Now the number 35, that's your heavyweight brawler. It's stronger, way more durable, and it's what you want for rougher tracks or maybe dirt ovals. Just remember this golden rule. The fastest chain is the one that actually stays on the kart.
Okay, get ready. This is it. This is probably the single biggest secret we're going to talk about today. And it goes against every instinct you have as a mechanic. But I'm telling you, when it comes to your chain, loose is fast.
And look, this isn't just an opinion. It's a fundamental truth in low horsepower racing like this. A tight chain creates so much friction, so much extra load and heat. It is literally strangling the power coming out of your engine before it even gets a chance to reach the tires.
The numbers here, they really tell the whole story. So preload, that's just a fancy word for how much tension you put on the chain when you set it up. Now look at this. With 0 extra preload, you get 0 extra drag. Makes sense. But just add 20 pounds of tension, and boom, you've created significant drag. And 40 pounds? Which, by the way, is super easy to do by accident. At that point, you're literally hitting the brakes with every single rotation of the axle. It's crazy.
So what does all that drag actually cost you on the track? Well, a tight chain can steal over 1 full horsepower. Now let that sink in. In a class where the engines are only putting out about 9 horsepower to begin with, you could be losing more than 10% of your total power from one simple, avoidable mistake. That is absolutely the difference between winning and losing.
Okay, so how loose is loose? We're not talking about it falling off here. Your target is about 1/4 inch to 3/4 of an inch of total movement, up and down. But listen up, this next part is critical. You have to measure this at the chain's tightest spot. As you rotate the axle by hand, you'll feel it tighten up and loosen. You've got to find that one tightest point, and that's where you set your slack, always.
All right, so running a loose chain unlocks a ton of speed. We've established that. But it also adds a little bit of risk of it coming off, right? So how do you protect that awesome new speed you just found? Well, you get some insurance. And that insurance comes in the form of a gear guard. This little thing is your new best friend. It keeps that chain from derailing when you hit a big bump or the chassis flexes. It stops that crazy chain whip. It keeps dirt and debris out. And honestly, in most racing series, it's mandatory anyway. For a fast, loose setup like this, a gear guard is absolutely non-negotiable. Don't even think about running without one.
Okay, so getting the chain set up right is half the battle. But to keep it fast, race after race, you need to adopt a pro-level maintenance routine.
And to really get why this maintenance is so critical, I want you to start thinking about your chain a little differently. It's not just one loop of metal. It is a complex system of over 100 tiny little needle bearings, all spinning at thousands of RPM. Every single one of those is a point of friction that you have to manage.
So here's how the pros do it. 3 key steps. First, and this is huge, always lube the chain when it's hot, like right after you come off the track. The heat expands all the little metal parts and lets that lubricant get way down deep inside the rollers where it actually needs to be. Second, wipe off all the excess from the outside. You want it to look almost dry. Lube on the inside does the work. Lube on the outside just becomes a magnet for dirt and grime. And third, you do this after every single session, every time. Consistency is everything.
You know, you've also got to be comfortable using a chain breaker. It's a fundamental skill. The key is to get the tool aligned perfectly straight and then just apply slow, even pressure to push the pin out. Don't force it. And here's a race-saving tip for you. When you install the master link, make sure the closed end of that little clip is facing the direction the chain travels. If you put it on backwards, the sprocket can catch it and pop it right off. And, well, that's race over.
All right, let's wrap this up with a quick start checklist. The absolute must-dos. Number 1, run your chain loose and set that slack at the tightest spot on the axle. Number 2, use a gear guard. It's cheap insurance for all the speed you just unlocked. And number 3, lube that chain when it's hot and wipe the excess off. You master these 3 things, I promise you, you will be faster.
So there you have it. These are the secrets the top racers use to get that extra edge. The knowledge is now yours. So the only question left is, what are you going to do with it? Are you ready to find your hidden speed?
Stagger tune for the perfect ride. Caught in life, taking it in stride.